tired of beyond anyone, closer than two razor blades. Yeah, baby, your heart's perfectly shaped. Give the up to my down, my ceiling to my ground. In other words, I got someone in my life who I respect and I trust. That unconditional love, so I can give zero words about what they say about, what they think about, when they talk about. Cause it's all about us. Yeah, cause it's all about us, about us, about us, about us. You were the air to my space. Yeah, the fire to my flame. The answer to my questions. The judge to my case. Oh yeah, the picture to my display. Without you, there's no way. In other words, I got someone in my life who I respect and I trust. That unconditional love, so I can give zero words about what they say about, what they think about, when they talk about. Cause it's all about us. Yeah, cause it's all about us, about us, about us.
Good evening and welcome to Cigar Sundays. I am Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, always joined by the illustrious Cigarden Panel with I Am Jazz Garcelle and the God Ali Dawu at BK Soul Farms. Happy New Year's to everyone. Welcome back to another episode. First thing we're going to do, peace, family, is we're going to continue to send out prayers out to at I Am Jazz Garcelle. Make sure y'all get in the comments. Tell Jazz feel better. You know what I'm saying? We praying for you. And we love you. Hurry up and get back so we can get back to what we like to do. Peace, God. How was your holiday? How was your New Year's, bringing in the new year?
Peace, power, and profit, God. Yo, everything has been wonderful and prosperous, man. Everything, the year ended well and started well, right? We started out, or we ended keeping our consistency, and we started the year maintaining our consistency, right? So it's so far so good, right? Like it's things just lining up, man. Like just moving forward one day at a time and celebrating every win.
Every win, right?
Every win.
Trying to tell you.
Every win, bro. Every win.
Trying to tell you. I'm like, man, it feels good to be alive.
Yeah.
Trying to tell you. Sometimes it don't always feel like that, but man, sometimes situations that happen and make you be real thankful to just be like, yeah, I got another day, another shot at it. Selfishly.
Yo, real, like, not for nothing though, like in being able to complete goals and tasks, like, we take it for granted like it's nothing, but it's like it's really the work that makes up our life. But that's the dash, right? Between the time you was born to the time you transition, like, you gotta appreciate the wins, bro, every day.
Got to. That's a fact. For anybody just joining us, or whether you're new to the channel or not, make sure to like and share the video. Also subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you can be aware of any new Cigar Sunday live content that we bring to you. Thank you. We appreciate y'all. Also, you can support the channel. The links in the description. You can check out some of the wonderful things that the panelists have at their storefronts. Please go and check that stuff out. Um, man, man, New Year's was great.
You can say, you can say.
New Year's was great.
That's good, man. I'm
New
happy for
Year's
you.
was great. You know, positive experiences. You know, um, yeah, I want to shout out the whole fam. I want to shout out my A-Town family, my Gville family, and my New York family. You know what I'm saying? Who made this one very special? Because I know the last few years I haven't really got out and done anything over the holidays, but this time, and then making it back safely. Um, got to put the emphasis on safely.
Word. It's
Um,
important.
it definitely made it worthwhile. I couldn't imagine if things would have been different, and I wouldn't even have got out and got to spend that time, the time that I was able to spend. Yep. But man, we back.
We
Cigar
back.
Sunday. We got uh we got a great topic tonight. Um, selfishness.
Selfishness.
Yeah. Um, what's the proper balance, or is it a challenge? A balance or a challenge? And came up with that one because I know everybody's guilty of being selfish at some point in time about something in life. Um, and we all have some selfish things that we should have learned from, where we may have applied it in a, you know, in a selfish way. um because we say, is it bad, is it good, or is it misunderstood as well?
Mm-hmm.
And it's many use cases. So what we're going to do is we're just going to try to figure out, between looking at personally applying certain things to yourself selfishly, uh, when we see it in relationships, and I mean, a relationships is broad, but I mean, we could say business, we could say personal. Um, we can look at some selfish things that's just like, hey, that's pretty selfish. Just general.
Yeah, I think we need to look up the word. Pull up the definition, God.
Pull up
Right,
the
because
definition of selfish.
if we looking at it on different aspects, I'm wondering if it applies differently, or if we even using it correctly to even know if it can be a balance or not even good at all, right?
Okay.
Because
So we just gonna pull this. You keep chopping it up though, God. We just gonna pull this from so let's go with this. What's the true definition of selfish? Once again, we just pulled this off of what is this? One
Google,
of
right?
these search, like a Yahoo,
Yo,
Bing,
Yahoo.
a search engine. We just typed it in, and it says the word selfish means the exclusive care from one own's welfare. Loving someone is the opposite. Enjoying benefiting someone else is only possible if we are not selfish. It is absolutely fine to benefit from being a good, loving person. That has nothing to do with being a selfish person.
Wow. Okay. So I would have so in my estimation of what I think our good sister Jasmine would say, it being bad, based on that definition, I would agree.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. Like the word exclusive is the is what makes it bad, right? Because nobody else benefit, nobody else is primary, nobody else is even considered other than a byproduct for your own benefit.
I mean, they even went as hard to say
God damn.
loving someone else is the opposite.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow.
I think it's a great definition.
All right. So that means nobody like so man, because that takes away any of my steam that I might have had for like any like word gymnastics, right? Because
Not really. Let's go with it.
nah, I ain't got none. Because once you pull up the definition, it can't be no other way than that. Because once you say exclusive, because like I said, I started off by saying rule number one being safety first. I'm thinking selfish. It's best to take care of yourself first before you take care of somebody else. But I don't think that's selfish based on that definition. Right? Like
No, they always tell you when the thing dropped down, when the oxygen mask dropped down in the
the airplane,
airplane.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
put it on yourself first.
Yeah, but I don't think that would be selfish. I don't think that would be considered selfish necessarily based on that definition.
But that's because you understand safety standards and
That's true.
and being in you have military experience. You done ran the drills. you know, and if I can't breathe, then I can't even save you.
I can't say
So
nobody else, bro. Like everybody else.
it isn't. You have a different life experience to where you're gonna be
Yeah.
calm in certain situations where other people may panic naturally. Um, and they say enjoying benefiting someone else is only possible if we are not selfish. So this definition right here is like trying to set the record straight.
Period. Point.
It really is. This definition is really trying to set the record straight uh and allow one to self-examine. Do I do anything
Like that.
That would give off this type of feeling to another person, or this perception, or
So I guess like so keeping in context, right? As far as I guess going to work will be considered selfish, right? Because you are, for the most part, solely going to this place to generate income to take care of yourself and your family. You don't necessarily bleed and sweat the industry that you're in, but you might do a good job. But
so that's a good selfish.
I think that's a good. I think that would be a good selfish.
That's a good selfish.
Right.
That's a responsible selfish. That's I have other responsibilities. A lot of people get up and go to, using your example, Ali, a lot of people get up and go to work. And at some point in time, it's not about them anymore. It's more about the responsibilities that they created or they have assumed throughout the course of life. So it still is always goal oriented. It should be, but sometimes those goals don't appear or present themselves until, like, we get to a certain level of responsibility that we're just like, okay, I have this going on. We need to, make sure that we tighten up
Yeah.
around, these edges and things like that. So that level of selfishness is necessary.
Necessary, right?
That's one of the ones where we talk about it's a good selfishness, because I encourage everybody to be selfishly responsible.
Selfishly, not financially responsible.
Yeah, like that's a whole nother level too. Because because it's plenty of people that may, let's say, pay their bills, but not do other things to grow their wealth.
Correct.
You know, so they selfishly paying them bills on time because I selfishly don't want to be homeless. I selfishly don't want to not have electricity. I selfishly don't want to not have food. And but
But they missing a whole another portion though of self, right?
in,
Um,
in that aspect in that aspect of some positive versions of selfish. um
it's kind of based on that definition, bro. It's kind of hard to even generate like positive definitions of selfish.
it's not for me because it goes back to, if we can take the word nigga and we can apply that vicarious
That's true, but it's like
casually.
it's that exclusive word, right? Like so, yeah.
Is it exclusive though? Is it only exclusive because we choose to make it exclusive, or is it,
Uh,
yeah, or can we just do what we want to do with it? Everybody else been doing what they want to do with words. They created a whole thing called the Ebonics dictionary. I don't know nobody who said they ever speak Ebonics,
that's true.
and I know people from different regions of the United States
That's supposed to be
that
like
use
Black
different
Americans' language, right?
slangs. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I don't know my homeboys from Detroit or New Orleans or Chicago or LA, or or Milwaukee or whatever, Brooklyn. Don't be like, um, you know, did you hear that new Ebonics word? Like,
Nah, son. That's what
so,
I'm saying. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know who language that is.
right. So that's why I'm saying, whose language is selfish, and why we gotta subscribe. Even though I agree with this definition, you know what I'm saying, but can I all do? Can I say that I have done something selfish that has been positive?
Plenty things. 100%.
And
Right.
I'm thinking that we can. I'm thinking that most people can. It's just some people's list is longer than others because they actually know that, like, I can be selfish and selfless at the same time if that's my intent, or I could just be um, that opposite where it's only self-serving on purpose.
Mm. Nah, those people gotta go. Like, I can't. That can't. Like those kind of people can't. Like can't. Those they don't. They get the sock parties. Right, like they get they
Stock
get
parties.
they get a visit at night on a boat, right? Like like we're a team, you know what I'm saying? We're a team. Yeah, nah. So all right, so how we want to approach it? So that the foundational definition was strictly negative, but we can put our own spin, and I can rock with that, right? So how you want to approach it now? You want to what love you want to talk about it? Because you said
Let's go to what are some bad things in a relationship people can do to be selfish, in a personal relationship to be selfish.
oh man, that list can go on forever, bro.
Well, we just go over a few. It don't. We ain't gonna spend too much. We got
Nah,
2 hours.
somebody could work out too much,
Work out too much. Okay.
right? Because that can sound like a positive, right? Because your body's your temple, and you want to be as healthy as you can be, but you are in a relationship, and if you're spending all your time and you're only worried about your body and your temple, how are you relating that body and that temple with your partner, right?
Okay.
So I think you can work out too much. I think that might be one. Somebody can shop too much.
Shop too much. Okay, something selfish like shopping too much. That's something, because that can affect the personal finances of the relationship.
Correct. Especially if they shopping to make them feel better.
Therapy shopping.
Yeah. Right.
That's crazy. I never even understood that. Like, what is that? Therapy shopping. I don't even. That's something. That's something I'm unfamiliar with.
A lot of people say, I don't even know if it's true, but I hear a lot of people talk about how, that's their therapy but they got so many buzzwords that people use. You don't know what's real anymore, right? And what's a true representation of that thing, because everybody's faking and lying.
Right. Right. Therapy shopping.
All right.
That's interesting. It would be great to have somebody who to come up on the show who does therapy, who says that that is a release for them, and them explain what they get out of it, because I don't know, it seemed like it's useless consumption. Just in my opinion, because you're not going to use the stuff, you just and it's almost like, you could have just walked around the mall and looked at
just,
and
just window
probably
shopping.
got more use. Yeah, got some exercise out of it.
Just
It
window
would have been
shopping.
beneficial. You kept your money, you know,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe put an item, maybe got one item, but not, um, yeah. So that definitely, I could see how that can definitely lead to
What
some
else?
some dysfunction in a relationship, some things that need to be worked on.
I don't know. Somebody could want to go out too much, right? Like somebody could, like in the Caribbean, they say somebody might have a hot foot, right? That they just can't stay in the house. They always got to go out. We always got to not necessarily spend money, but got to go out and explore, do adventurous things, right? See,
Hmm.
when I think about this stuff, it goes back to, I guess, our previous conversations, and if you pick the right partner for yourself, I guess, like, I don't think you can really be too selfish.
Um,
I think I think if y'all both got each other in mind,
that comes with time, though, right? That comes with experience, patience, learning each other,
real conversation.
conversation. Yeah, like definitely communication got to be there. You got to talk about everything,
Yeah, like everything.
everything. Yeah, best friend. Vulnerable.
Hmm.
If it's a play, even if it's a move, this our move.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
definitely Bonnie and Clyde and Bill and Camille.
yeah, yeah.
And Will and Jada. Just may not have to take it to the internet, but
Hell no, and definitely no red tabletops.
you know what I'm saying? Communication is marvelous.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Let's see. Bubble and Brown says, can working too much be considered selfish relative to the relationship's financial goals?
Yes. So I don't know about that financial goal part, but I definitely know that working too much could be a problem. I had a CEO that was a GO bachelor, and because his wife was someplace else, he hated being in port. So every Monday through Friday, we had to be underway. Right.
Mm.
All right. Destroyed many marriages, many relationships got broke up just simply from folks just not being at home and not being able to not go to work. Right. Ain't no calling out sick on a boat.
Yeah, yeah. People be trying to play that. I've seen that. Man, I don't know. Like I agree. Like that working too much can ruin a relationship. Can cause stress. Um, it can be considered selfish. But then there's a caveat to this question.
Yeah, that financial goal part.
Yeah, where it says, relative to the relationship's financial goals. But like if they've communicated their financial goals with each other, then um them working shouldn't be selfish, because how else are they gonna make money if they not if they don't have a business that they have together? Um, yeah, if they don't have some type of uh, business that they have together, and they both are employed, they both get their money from different sources. That is, like, I give you an example. At one point in my life, I had communicated to somebody that in a past relationship that I was going to be working extra, um, and that was in relation to financial goal.
Mm-hmm.
The difference was is that that was something that I would wanted to do, and I thought that the person was in agreement, but they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes to the communication for that question, Bubbling Brown. Um, if the
So
if y'all talk about it first and it's established, then it shouldn't working as much as you need, or as much as he need, or as much as anybody in that relationship needs to be able to get to them financial goals. Y'all should be doing that.
and his key point is y'all need to be saying that, right? Because again, if you say your plan and the other person don't say their thoughts, and y'all moving like we rocking with plan A, and they not putting no effort, and they really didn't had no buy-in, like that's kind of like your enemy a little bit, right? So like everybody got to know, like you got to know your partner, right? You got to know what they really about, and be comfortable saying like, nah, I think a toilet tissue factory is not a good idea, right? If that's what you think, right? Like say both people got to say it, right? Nobody can keep nothing in. Like that's the key thing. Both people got to talk,
Right.
right? What do you think about though with that same question, uh, in relation to parental, right?
How?
So parents that work too much, or I'm gonna use the word work a lot,
Hmm.
and don't get to spend a lot of time with their children. Is how do we rate that on a level of selfishness, right? Because on one hand, they're totally not being selfish because they're taking care of their family, um, but at the same time, they are not spending time with their family because they're always at work. Because the kids don't see that. I mean, unless your kids are fiscally responsible, they know about finances and stuff like that. They just know you're not around.
Well, from service in the military, I've seen that a lot. I think that was a thing that kind of gave me a little bit of reservations about having a family, when I would see some of the selflessness of all of my fellow service members, former and current. Um, I would see them go through things where, um, like we come back from a patrol, um, and their wives were pregnant or their girlfriends were pregnant. They
Mm-hmm.
they have the baby, then we leave and deploy again, then we come back, you know, they aren't there, then come back, that we had the baby, then we leave again. They were only there to be able to spend, maybe, I don't know what it was, 15, 30 days, something like that,
Yeah, bro.
if you were lucky. Um, and and then when we pull back in the port, I would see um I would see some things, man, that just like sadden me, because and some of the brothers that I would speak to, and I just talking about shipmates, period.
Mm-hmm.
No complexion on brothers. Um, they would be saddened because their child wouldn't even know who they were.
Yeah.
They would have to reconnect with their child. And it would be like restarting the process all over again. Um, I've heard of mothers, fathers, both alike, military parents, the one making the sacrifice, being selfless, missing first steps, birthdays,
All that.
graduations, debutante ball
Yeah.
pageants and prom.
No, definitely selfless from their perspective, but from the child's perspective, that's not selfless, right? Like, and
Right,
I'm wondering if the parents' selfless actions will make that child selfish later, or you know what I'm saying? Like, cause that's tough, cause that's a deep question, you know. Because you
well,
got to work, bro. You got to take care. You got to generate income to take care of your family. Period. Point blank.
and that's why conventionally, I guess is the safest word to use. um, in most military households, there is two parents.
Yeah.
So one parent usually assumes the role of that person who's going to be um, person who holds the house together, while the other parent makes the sacrifice to go and serve the country and be able to provide in that capacity. Because that doesn't mean that the the mother or the father or the other parent, it doesn't mean that the other parent um, doesn't work as well.
Correct.
Um,
Correct.
but there is absolutely an absence. Single parent homes with the whole uh, cliche and stereotypical baby daddy home and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
those ain't the only homes that just have one parent in them.
Correct.
And that's not the only circumstance that sometimes a another parent is on their own, taking on all of that responsibility um, for the team though. That's what they doing. It's a group effort. The other parent has assumed the role of going to go get this so they can provide a certain thing, a certain
Correct.
level of food, clothing, and shelter and quality of life, you know, opportunities. So it can't always be like, where everybody get to be at home and come home every day and solve all the problems at the end of the day. That would be great if it was like that. But
It's
um,
not.
it's other forms of employment too that
Correct.
pay you a little bit more to not be there. Uh,
That's true too. You get paid a lot in some places, in some career fields, right?
yeah, like
To not be home.
so like if you a lot of tractor trailer drivers, who own they own trucks or whatever their situation is, you know,
Yeah.
they make a very good living and and can be entrepreneurs too. It don't just have to be where they just employed. You got people who work in the oil rigs and stuff like that. They make a very good living. Um, and military, and that's just three. That's just three that come to my mind.
Mhm.
Um, that isn't all end all be all, but both of those three industries, professional industries, pay a person. They compensate a person, enough to be able to have a quality of life, a good quality of life, and provide for their children. So, or for their family structure, however it may look. So, those are selfless acts
Mhm.
that you have to be selfish to do that though. You just have to say, what, I'm just gonna go do it. And any person saying like I'm just gonna go do that, it is an act of selfishness, but
It is.
it's a positive one because you're gonna be able to help some people you care about, and they said during the definition, loving someone is the opposite of selfish. So if you're going to go help people you love, if you're doing something, making a sacrifice to help people you love, then
You're not selfish.
you're definitely not selfish.
Yeah.
Definitely not selfish. Bubbling Brown in the comments said, then there would need to be some type of balance structure. I'm not sure what balance structure you talking. If you're talking about in relationship to the financial goals, or if it was just based on one of the other comments we was talking about. But
the financial goals, I think that's just good conversation, right? You just need good communication, good, honest communication, expectation management of where each of you guys want to go as individuals and together,
yeah,
right? And y'all either want to do life together or you don't, based on you guys' needs, right? I think that's where you'll find your balance, right? You'll find your balance in conversation, right? And in real conversation, because it's needed.
absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's on that balance structure too. That's what that sounds like. What you just explained sounds like a balanced structure, because you have that communication. Both parties agreed, and that's a balance. It's structured. It's a structured agreement. We know what we doing. We know where we going,
Yeah.
and then that should balance out.
The only thing left is once you agree
Oh,
to
okay. Here you go. Here you go, Bubbling Brown. Bubbling Brown said the balance structure thought was based on Ali's comment regarding a parent working a lot. Okay. So this is uncommon, but yeah, that was that. I think that's it right there. That's that balance structure, right? With the two parents.
Yeah.
Because one person has to commit.
Hold it down.
Yeah, one person has to hold it down, and we see that. We seen that.
And whatever hold it down mean, right? Because that parent may also have to have their own job, right? And do life, right? They may not be in a position to where hold it down for them means they get to stay at home and like whatever hold it down means is what the other person is expected to do based on you guys' agreement, right? Because nobody is just signing up and saying, hey, this is what I'm doing, you gotta like it, right? That's not a relationship.
No, that's not. That's a dictatorship.
That's a dictatorship.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. So when we look at selfishness in the social setting of business, let's look at selfishness in the social setting of business. And let's look at just small business, not large Fortune 500, because we know that it's dog eat dog. We know that.
Yeah.
But looking at it on everyone still works with each other in some way. You just may not be part of that team.
Got you.
But people still work with each other in certain capacities. Like we may not see Coca-Cola and Pepsi do a collaboration, right? But we might see Coca-Cola and Disney do a collaboration. We may see Coca-Cola and Nike do a collaboration. So we see other brands that will work together and do things. And we say, is there a level of selfishness to that? on a, let's say on a small business scale, why we don't see more small businesses trying to collaborate? Is that because of the selfishness, where people feel like it's a little bit of crumbs, so everybody trying to get all the little crumbs, and it's not enough crumbs for everybody to get? Or is it just I need to do this by myself?
I think it's more of that part. I think it's more I need to do it by myself than to be snatching for the crumbs. I think it looks like we're all snatching for crumbs, but I think the idea of pull yourself up by your bootstraps, the idea of unless it has your name on it, it's not yours, right? Like, so yeah, you're on a team, but how many points did you score? Right.
God, keep going. I'm gonna listen. I gotta get a towel. I've been.
No, it's good. All right, so that's the thing, right? Like, so once you once you start thinking about that stuff, like it gets tricky. I don't know what y'all think out there.
You said it gets tricky.
It gets tricky, bro. Like,
as far as the,
cause I really think that, like, so I bought other part of a team where we purchased property, right, and we were all really proud of ourselves. A group of men purchased land, felt great, but all of us got the same reception by our loved ones. They kind of got disappointed when it wasn't ours all by ourselves, right? Like when we all came back together, it's like everybody was let down that we had to share the property. So it's like, oh, so the land is not your land, right? So you don't really own it, and that kind of stung a little bit, right? So that's why I'm tending to lean more to the second part, to where everybody feel like they got to do it themselves. Everybody want to earn their first place prize, or earn their ribbon, right? Like everybody, wants their 15 minutes, so to speak. Um, I can't say everybody, because personally, I'm saying teams win, and if I can be a supporting cast member on a winning team, I ride the bench and just do my part. So,
right.
um, but I think the egos, right? I think the whole keeping up with the Joneses. I think everything on the reality TV shows, right? All of our hip hop, not even. Yeah, we'll keep it to hip hop for right now. Like, they got everybody lying and everybody thinking that they got to get this bag and do the most for the bag. Um, I don't know. You can't, like, that bag gets smaller if I got to split it, right? I think that's what the concept is. Like, I got to get as much of my own money as possible on my own, so that I can reign supreme. All right.
The bag gets smaller.
Because the crumbs, right? Like, I think the first part, the crumbs, we all snatching crumbs.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is like low hanging fruit. That is so obvious and so easy, and the easy deflection to just say, hey, everybody's grabbing crumbs. and it takes away the need to have a conversation about how we don't want to work together. Right? We'll say all day, it's the crab in the barrel mentality, crab in the barrel mentality. But we don't never talk about the crabs on the beach.
The crabs in the sand,
You know what I'm
the
saying? Like
sand crabs, the rock crabs.
all the loose free crabs in their natural environments just being crabs ain't doing nothing crabby to no other crabs. You know what I'm saying? They just being crabs, right? But the crabs in the barrel are not in their natural environment, right? So where it might look like one is pulling the other one down to come down here with them, in reality, in that crab's mind, they're probably reaching for that person that's climbing out so they can come out too.
Okay.
Right. So it's just a matter of perspective, right? And where you are in that barrel, I guess. But I'd rather think about crabs shouldn't be in that barrel. They should be on the beach chilling.
Sunbathing.
You know what I'm saying?
Sounds like a cool place underneath a money tree.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I like that though because it really does appear though that there's a difference between, like you said, whether they're grabbing for, the crumbs, or it's not taught. I think the collective,
It's not taught.
the collective to work together is just really not taught in any real, educational setting or environment. It's so much of the, I gotta get mine, you gotta get yours.
MVP, bro. Everybody want to be the MVP.
Yeah.
Right. And we got to be competitors on the same team if we're both going for the MVP trophy. Right? Teammates are now enemies because we want some status that somebody's giving out.
Instead of it being a team, it's an all-star game.
You know what I'm saying?
It's an all-star game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like I said, it's a trick bag, bro, and it's deep. You know, it's like I said, the crumbs, man. It's kind of like you talk about police brutality, you talk about anything negative in the world, and not in the world, but in the country, and to not talk about that, they bring up, well, what about black on black crime? And I'm like, what does apples got to do with oranges? Right? But it's easy to talk about apples instead of talking about oranges. Right? And depending on how you answer the question on black crime determines how far the conversation will continue. All right? And there's no accountability, bro. No teamwork.
No teamwork to make the dream work. So that's a dynamic of selfishness right there within the collective of in business, small businesses practice, community. We see a lot of selfish things going on. Let's look at the music. Some of the music being made, it seems like that's very selfish. Even though we understand like there's a need for a young person or whoever's the author of that music, the composer of it, or older person, because it don't matter. People's just making music. It's making music. Yeah, they just making music. So like
making sounds.
Either way, whoever it is, they're trying to make money to be able to provide for their family. So there is a selflessness about that. It's just, however, the music, some of the music, not all of it, some of the music that is made, some of the even the content that is made, is very selfish in its uh in its messaging,
Yeah,
um
the imagery, everything.
in its imagery, in its perpetuation of, the selfish narratives among a whole bunch of other stuff. So like, how do where's the balance in that? Is that a balance, or is that a challenge? And then who really receives, who receives the more challenging end, and who receives the balance of it? You know, when I look at the actual artist,
Mm.
I look at like, I don't know if they really received the whole balance of it. I know that they definitely receive challenges of it,
100% challenges. Yeah.
because I know that in this era, it's like, you're supposed to be talking what you live in. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be keeping it the realest that they've ever kept it in. You know, um,
But that's getting you top though, right?
a lot of that mindset is getting people indicted.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
getting
saying?
a lot of time for that.
So that if you selfishly want to go to jail, knock yourself out. Um, but I do see that the user, the listeners, not really getting a balance from that music, from music that's like that, that is of that nature, that comes with selfish connotations, and a lot of self-centered ideas, of of non-collectivism.
Hmm.
um, and I see a lot of, in the communities, quote unquote, a lot of the youth, you see them having challenges, and I see older people having challenges too, from those, um,
Yeah.
from those influences.
So when it comes to the listeners though, right? Like I think that's all challenges because if in today's world of technology, you don't have to go and buy your music anymore. You're not hearing it first on the radio anymore where the DJ broke the music or whatever, right? So now everything is on your on a device where you just get to push play and listen to an album or a song as you get ready without actually taking the time and searching for and buying, saying I'm putting my interest into this artist or into this sound or into this work of art, so to speak. So without that buy-in from the user, without that action, I guess, right? I lose the ability of balance, right? Because now I went from being able to listen to what interests me only to now I can just listen to everything and listen to just what's hot, right? And I can just literally listen to everything and and don't have to buy anything,
Hmm.
right? So now my money goes to whatever streaming service, and that's what my loyalty goes to instead of my interest, meaning the artist or my genre that I like.
Okay.
All right, so I think from a customer's perspective, it's all challenges. I think I don't even know how to get back to balance, bro. All right, because no offense, like I love Megan Thee Stallion music as an adult, and 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 it's perfect for adult time, right? But it is highly inappropriate to be played at a sneaker store in the mall, right? For all to hear, for all passerby children to hear and sing songs. And so, see what I'm saying? To me, that's all of a challenge. Like, there's no way to get a balance from that, right? Like the sister made her music. She ain't necessarily push play in that store in the mall. She ain't say play my stuff right then and there.
Right.
All right. So that's tough.
But it is part of a playlist.
It's part of a playlist.
It's part of a playlist. Everybody, everybody, it is a song that is on the radio anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And it is trending, or so it's kind of hard to get away from it. But I do get the public place. Like in the military, you couldn't play, like when I was in there, like you couldn't play certain music. It was deemed inappropriate for the workplace.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand it at first. And when you have people playing other genres of music that that are just less easier to to hear what's actually being put together in the lyrics of the song.
Correct. Because the music is real loud. The band is real loud.
So
a guy screaming.
So because it would be different, like in versus, rap, hip hop has always been to the point. And since it's so groovy, people gonna listen to it. They can't help. They hear the words, they hear the rhythm.
Gonna make their head bop.
Yeah, and they like, oh crap. But you quickly realize, like in certain environments, how people can't tell that you just listening to a song.
Correct.
No, the person who thinks this song is real, is what they supposed to be imitating, can't be here where I'm at right now. I'm listening to it because I grew up on the music. You know what I'm saying? It's one of my favorite artists. Yeah. I may have had a time where I was in that mind space, but once I got to this space here, I'm no longer in there. I know the difference. You don't have to be offended by some lyrics to a song that, like, you gonna go play later on, like you gonna jam to it later on somewhere, and you're gonna be like, oh, that's what I heard them playing. You're gonna be able to remember where you heard it from, where you heard it at first, and you'll also be able to resonate with the fact that this person was not somebody that you saw on television or in a movie with some scripted narrative, telling you how you should feel about the song.
That's true.
Or without telling you about how you should feel about the song, the same thing that we're talking about, this selfish balance or challenge, because a lot of times when we get influenced by these songs as youth, nobody's there to say like this just a song, man. Like this person really ain't doing all that,
100% facts.
And if you do this stuff, like, man, you probably gonna end up, in a real bad place in your life, man.
In fact, in my childhood, we weren't even allowed to listen to any songs that had explicit lyrics at all. Like, so if they had any kind of sex talk, that was a rap. Like, you know, you had to play that when mommy's on her way home from work, right? Like, can't nobody be at the house for that. But now it's like everything is allowed, bro. Right? There's no restrictions, there's no limitations, and all in the name of freedoms is getting harder and harder to secure, to find a balance, right? That's why I say I'm finding more challenges than balances, because again, Two Live Crew when I was a kid, right? Like, that's gonna get me put on punishment.
Two Live Crew is gonna get you on punishment.
You know what I'm saying? Just for listening to it, right?
Singing the
But
words.
but nobody told me that the lyrics was dangerous. Nobody explained the messaging to me. Nobody said, right. So they just kept it away, and now it's just all exposed, and nobody still ain't talking about it, right? So just like you're saying, like nobody's saying like, all that's gonna get you locked up, all that's gonna get you in the hospital with some kind of venereal disease or shot or something, right?
Yeah.
It's not the way to live. Like these artists are coming out now, I guess, in all these interviews, and they're starting to say that they're starting to tell the truth, that they are not necessarily keeping it real, right? That they're just really creative, right? And I kind of like that a little bit, because we need to get back to reality, and artists are creatives, right? Like, it is not their responsibility or obligation to do anything for anybody other than themselves, and the way that they want to express. The user, the listener, the looker on, who's appreciating the art or whatever, it is on them to appreciate it or not like it. That ain't got nothing to do with the artist, right? And it just got backwards, right? Because now everybody's chasing that bag. So the artist is saying, "Yo, I drew this painting. You like it, right? Give me $1 million." You said it's hot, right? Right, and it's
The painting has to be a certain paintings
yeah,
ain't gonna fetch a meal.
yeah.
So that's where we like, is it just is that selfish? Because I know I can't paint this certain type of picture, even though I would really want to paint this type of picture right here.
It's
But
that selfish.
yeah, but I know if I paint this one right here,
Hmm.
they're gonna give me that meal if I paint this one. I know
That's
if
what I'm
I paint
saying,
that
right?
other one, they probably gonna give me 200. They only gonna give me a quarter meal, and I gotta make four of those.
Gotta make four of those. Yeah.
But I know if I make this one right here, they gonna give me that meal, and then they probably gonna put 3 or 4 more meal behind it, and I might come out, with a 3 or 4 piece at the end of the day. For,
Man, all this entertainment stuff, I can just hear Cat Williams now. Right, right. It's like, because it all sounds like, things that call your integrity into question, right? Because, like, what are you willing to do? And because we call it trash, right? We call mumble rap trash. We call drill and all that stuff trash. But the
the
reality,
messages,
well,
mumble
yeah,
rap,
even when I say, I'm gonna take that back. Let me correct myself. Let me correct self.
the
Um,
messaging drill is trash.
yeah, right. Like, and even when I say we, I would say traditional, quote unquote, real hip hop aficionados of hip hop heads, right? Will look at that style of hip hop or that genre of hip hop to be inferior, so to speak, right? But it's absolutely selling. It's absolutely getting spins. It's absolutely moving uh, throughout the cities, right? And whether we like it or not, that awful message is getting played over and over and over again. And Cass is really pulling out, Cincinnati's and pulling up.
Yeah, like that's part of the culture. That's part of that. And that's why I just say the message is trash. Cause the beats be jamming,
Yeah,
and some of the cadences and stuff I be hearing the young
yeah,
spit and stuff, all that stuff be cool. It just be like
yeah,
everybody's saying everybody's a murderer and a drug dealer and
yeah.
a drug user, and just,
You don't
no,
even hear drug dealers too much anymore. It's
what they
mostly.
call trappers. They trapping.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, they trapping. Yeah, that's yeah, they trapping. It's okay.
My old ass.
Yeah, it's all right. You trap too, just a different way.
That's
You
funny.
know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with trapping. You gotta eat.
100% facts.
but but it's different, and the messages, the messages are the same. So like that's where I really where like my opinion, I prefer other types of rap music,
Hmm.
just because um I can't relate to the message. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that in real life. So that's not even something that like I need to groove to, like not even a beat. Unless you get one that just got like a nice hook or something like that,
Yeah,
then yeah, and if it's jamming, you might jam to it. But
man. Anything that'll give me that I have a hard time explaining to my grandson or granddaughter, I don't want to listen to.
yeah, but
Right?
it's about robbing and stealing and killing and dealing and come on, man. Like we
Like,
don't
oh, but what they mean by
yeah.
nah, 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 nah. And especially the sex stuff. Like, I'm over all that stuff, bro. Like,
Yeah, and like the oversec the hypersexualization,
come on.
like damn, save something, you know.
I mean, well, we get it. Like, there's so many baby daddies and baby mamas. Like, we know about sex.
Right. Don't desensitize yourself.
Yeah.
Uh, but definitely, so it's a lot of selfishness going on in that
Hmm.
in the area of music. Um, and the
Selfish, but it's still under the guise of selfless, though, right? Because they would all still say that they're doing it for the benefit of themselves and their families,
because
right?
it still
So
is a job. They still employees,
they
most
still
of
employees, right? Like, so, yeah,
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 they still employees, most of them. So I mean, it's fair to say, this is how I eat, this is how I feed my family,
correct.
and that is a selfless act, because who knows what is required of them at times based on all these speculations, allegations, and rumors and crazy other stuff or whatever. If it does require that to be in that space, then
That's
that's
crazy.
that's not a free ride.
That's not a free ride, bro.
And
That's a bump. That's a bumpy ride.
and that's not a your work performance
No,
um will catapult you to where to whatever levels that you want to get to.
that's
It's
a
not that.
that's a how much you willing to take situation. Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm looking at more like, it's a um do what I say type situation.
yeah.
It is, yeah,
I can't handle that.
you know,
I can't handle nothing like no favors, bro. Like we can't do favors at work.
yeah,
Right. This whatever your job is, you do your job. Whatever my job is, I do my job. I don't need favors at work from another employee. Like we're on the same team.
Right, right. Yeah, we working together.
You're working together, so you know.
Yeah, so it's definitely one of them things where I see that in the workplace where that where music space we was talking
Hmm.
about. In the music space, yeah, it's hard to have a balance, you know, because there's so many challenges for the listeners,
Hmm.
for the creators of it, you know. Um and hell, I even go as far as to say even for the people that produce the music and stuff like that, um you know, the major labels and things like that, because I know that they selfishly gonna put it out to make money.
Correct.
Um,
Which they don't care nothing about nothing else but that.
yeah, like that's just the nature of, you know, that's what it is. That's what it has become. So, um, back in the day, a good record, you put out a good record, you know, you wanted it to do well. So I
Correct.
can't see why that would change, even though we disagree with the context of the music. You know, that still is going to be, if I had a business and I'm put, well, we do, and we put out some music, we wanted to do well. So I could see myself selfishly wanting to just recoup my money, how much have I invested, you know,
Hmm.
and look at it no other way than that. It's a business
That's what I'm
investment.
saying. Like when you talk about business, it's hard because you're only there to make. Excuse me. You're only there to make money, not friends. You know what I'm saying?
But you know how it is when people work in a space and you have people who you befriend people at work where maybe it's not like a I'm gonna take you home friend, but you know, but relationships are forged just through working with each other, camaraderie,
Yeah.
knowledge base, you know, things like that, helping people out and stuff like that. You know, by you being a uh, a performer at work, you know, because everybody isn't always going to perform on the same level. So we get these things that happen in these spaces, and there's a selflessness about us in these spaces, but they're still selfish too, because it's like, hey, I'm here for the team, right? And this is a positive thing. I'm here for the team, and if I need to go ahead and, you know, score 40 points tonight, I'm gonna go ahead and score 40 tonight.
Correct.
Don't worry about it. It only, you know, like we were saying, it only become a problem when every night I feel like I gotta score 40, you know. And
So
that's
let me ask you a question real quick based on that. It is can some is selfishness determined by you or by somebody else?
that's great. I'm gonna say it starts with the person first.
Because I'm using your basketball 40 point uh, uh, example, and if I'm the star and I'm like, oh, my team needs me to score 40 points, and I go
No, no,
score
no,
40.
no, 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 no. You're not the star.
Mm,
You just needed to score 40
I just
points
need
that night.
either way. If I if I
Okay.
score if I score 40 points, like is
Well, see, a star has an expectation.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know, like the star is expected. If
So you might be
If
looked at as a
LeBron
ball
goes out,
hawk.
if LeBron goes out and plays bad, you know, he hears about it. You know, if he goes out and play good, you hear about it. It's, oh,
Mm.
he's the greatest. So if he, you know, go out there and slum it up,
He had a
then
goal last night.
Yeah, then it's like you need to get it together. You pull it, you looking like
Yeah,
a bum, LeBron, so or whoever the superstar may be, just
yeah,
that guy because he is one. So like that's different if you have an expectation, but um, like the old Lakers team,
mm.
Kyle Kuzma. Nobody expected Kyle Kuzma to come out and drop 45, you know, but he needed to come out and drop 45 that game, and he came and gave it to him. So the next game, nobody's looking at him to do that. But that one game he came and showed up, the team needed him and he was there to give him that, and he knew like they kept feeding him the rock because they knew he was hot. So they encouraged him during that game. They didn't even the superstar was like, man, you got it.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? So because I'm gonna go do my thing, I'm gonna get my numbers too,
yeah.
but I'm gonna let you work because you because you know what I'm saying. That's less I could do. I could save some energy to turn it on later on.
Correct, correct, correct.
So like, and that's working together. So that's what I'm talking about. Like it's a selfish thing for the team though.
That's why I asked, right? Like, who determines selfishness in the first place? Because
You talking about who made the word up?
no, like,
That's what I'm teasing. I know you know. I'm just like,
right? Because
man, stop it.
because I'm thinking about that guy. Scored the 45 points. They did keep passing him the ball,
Exactly. Exactly.
right? Like, was he necessarily saying ball, 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 or was he just open and just had his hands ready, right? Like,
It don't really matter because usually when you get the rock, you go. So even if the coach ain't calling your play, you know, and you
mm,
got the rock and you got a defender on you that you could take. Once you beat him 2 or 3 times, everybody know he can't check you, so you just keep switching. And the
yeah,
coaches see it. The coaches see it and be like, everybody don't let them switch. Every time they switch, just switch back and let them ISO. You know what I'm saying? Because he can't,
yeah, yeah,
and everybody get to the other side of the floor. It's gonna take the other defense to be able to do something. But then as soon as they do that, somebody gonna get open, and then you kick to them. Boom. So like, and that could be anybody, but that takes the coach to be paying attention to the game too. You
correct.
know? So it can't just be. You can see that out there on the floor, and it's good when you got guys on the floor who can see that already, who you hooping with. But you know, if they don't see it fast enough, the coach supposed to be like, boom. You
So
know,
maybe it's only like in a sports analogy, right? Maybe it can only be it can be selfish if you lose, right? Like if you was a ball hog and you wound up losing, nah.
no, because whoever is the superstar now,
Yeah, yeah,
whoever's
right.
the superstar, it's riding on them anyway. If we die by 1,000 jump shots from LeBron, okay,
We just yeah,
no problem. But if we die by 1,000 jump shots from Kyle Kuzma, I'm just using you, Kyle. Like it's all love. I don't even know you, but you know what I'm saying? Y'all got the chip that year. Salute. Um, you know what I'm saying? So like if he's the guy that you lose by, like then you kind of like
yeah,
that wasn't the game plan.
correct.
Kevin Durant's supposed to be shooting the ball. James
See,
Harden.
but that's what I'm saying, right? Like, so in that scenario, if Kyle Kuzma loses the game, he was being selfish. But if he wins the game, then he wasn't being selfish.
Not necessarily because somebody allowed him to be able to have the green light to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody allow him to have the green light to be able to go. Like he couldn't just do that on his own. You
Because
know,
it's a
like
team.
because it's a team. Yeah, the
Yeah.
coach have to be like, hey, this the play. This the coach is always gonna be managing the personnel, running the plays and everything. Unless the coach says y'all do what y'all need to do, or you up by 30 or 40, then like
Let Cal get some run time.
yeah, I mean we clean the bench. Nah, Kyle might have been 6 coming off or something. You know what I'm saying? You letting
Everybody get some.
13 and 14 on the roster get some burn. The rookies, you know. Um, yeah, so that's really, that's really what we see like in those team
Yeah.
instances, in those team situations where um that's what was going back to like um when with this question right here from this Bubbling Brown can work into a relationship relative to financial goals. So that's what we talking about, like where it's a goal set
Mm-hmm.
and it's a team, like the goal is to win.
The goal is to win.
So whatever you have to do to win, and as long as everyone is in on that collective, then there's going to be a balance. You're going to have
Yeah.
challenges, but y'all are participating in the selfish act. The selfish act is we need to sacrifice and do what we need to do collectively so we
Yeah.
can win this game,
Yeah.
and then it's going to selflessly benefit whoever else we care and love about, who benefit from our gain, from things that we gain from. So it's never going to be selfish when it's a team effort, when it's goal oriented,
Yeah.
when it's a relationship. It shouldn't be.
See, with sports, like you said though, with the coach makes it kind of takes away the selfish aspect, right? Because even if you were a ball hog by nature, it's not your team, right? And essentially you can be sat down, right? And
Maybe not. Maybe not.
nah,
No, because it isn't the coach's team too. There's something
yeah.
called an owner.
Damn.
You gotta remember they employees too. So, an owner
Damn. So like, yeah.
can
So
be selfish and say, "I don't care what you think. I fire you. Put him in the game. That's who I'm paying. This guy 50 million a year.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that person plays for real. I don't care what you think about it. Play them. If they not hurt, they playing.
Mm,
If we gotta manage minutes, load manage them.
dang.
But that's a $50,000. That's a $50 million employee, man.
Yeah, yeah. Sound like terrible.
Sounds. Did I make it sound nice? At least a little bit.
oh, oh, man, yeah, nah, man. Like,
I mean, it's a lot of people. That I wanted to be a $50 million employee before. I had dreams of it. Um, I think a lot of young people get caught up in wanting to be that $50 million employee. Um, Selfishly, but selflessly, because I think everybody wants to be able to take care of their family,
yeah,
and it gives you um, that allure of that ability.
I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, man, I might want to do it for maybe a year. I'll get that first 50 million. I don't need it after that.
To be a $50 million employee.
Yeah, I just need that first $50 million in 1 year.
It
Yeah,
depends on it. It really just depends on the work.
yeah, yeah.
Um, really, that's all. Just whatever the work is.
That's true. I don't know, man. Like this selfishness thing is like, to me, it seems like it's one of the most challenging words that we've discussed so far, right? Like the others, I was able to just rattle them off, but selfishness is because even when you try to put spins on it, right? Like, and it goes from self, like it's gonna always go back to selfless for the most part, right? Because you're gonna always be able to say, I'm doing it for myself and my family. I'm doing what I got to do to put food on my table. All right, like so it's gonna always, so there's not gonna be a way to know.
Okay, so let's talk about. So look, so there is some where people are doing it, and it ain't well. Shoot. Okay, so it can be still no, where it's not selfless, but it can be like all the way selfish. All
Hmm.
right, it could be all the way selfish um because they the only person that gets the benefit from it. So like cheating, that's selfish, right? In a relationship,
In a relationship, yeah,
yeah, cheating is selfish.
yeah.
And the person, it's only one person who benefits from that. Well, two, the cheater and the person they cheated
The
with.
TT.
Yeah, the cheating, the cheating. So, like,
Yeah,
that's the case. When people,
yeah,
when people lie, you know what I'm saying? That's selfish. Um, especially over.
yeah. But even in those situations where people lie, they will lie and say that they lied to spare your feelings.
How selfish is that?
Right? I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
How selfish is that? You lied because you didn't want
or
to
they'll
hurt
lie
my
and say
feelings.
that I didn't know what to say.
The truth. How about the truth?
That works every time, right? It
You
usually
know?
do. Right? But it's all selfish because you lie because you fear the consequences. So you want to maintain what you are abusing, and you want to maintain your right to abuse it. Right? So that's 100% selfish.
They want to maintain their right to abuse it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. So that's selfish. 100%.
Yeah. It's like them cats that be that step out on their partners, and then when they partners, I guess what they call it, cheat back. They want to go on a murder spree and start killing everybody. And it's like, yeah, that's super selfish. Like, but
Let
man.
me let me tell you something. When I left New York, somebody had just died in a community not too
Mm,
far from where I was. And it was like a love thing like that with the
mm.
the young person. He was like right around our age, in between our age, and and killed ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? But his son's mother, you know what I'm saying? I think he was 44, she was 38, something crazy.
Yeah,
Young
nah, that's
baby was
crazy.
15 years old.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like this selfish stuff is going on, and I don't know any of the details of why that took place.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure it had something to do with somebody being selfish.
yeah,
I know damn sure him taking the life of his son's mother was damn sure selfish.
yeah.
Period. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what
Because
happened
he
before
he he
that.
took he took he took her life from himself and from his sons
You see,
and her families.
her family took her life, took away his life, took away his son's life, like everybody's life wrong. Cause he gonna be in prison,
That's crazy.
you know. And the young the baby boy, the 15-year-old now, he traumatized. He got to live with that wild crap on his brain the rest of his life. His daddy killed his mother. That's wild, man.
That's crazy, bro.
You know, that's where we living at.
That's
You know,
selfish.
and I'm saying that's selfish.
That's selfish, right? Because 15, like he definitely got to live with that, right? And he gonna be old enough to actually to carry his own heat at some point, right? In the near future, right? If he hasn't resolved his, not resolved, but if he hasn't managed his trauma, who knows how it'll release itself,
Absolutely, absolutely. You know,
That's
that's wild.
that's
That's why
selfish.
I'd be like, people that we love. I want to say this while we on here. If you love somebody, when you see them, hug them and kiss
Hmm.
them before they depart,
Yeah.
because you don't know if you're gonna see somebody again. I don't care what y'all going through. If you love that person, give them a hug, a kiss, something. Let them know how you feel about them before they leave you, because it ain't always promised that you're gonna see them again.
No.
And situations like that, it's like that little young man ain't even gonna never hug his mother again. He ain't gonna be able to hug his father again. If he do, like, look at the circumstances. Look what he got to go through psychologically. Now, everybody's situation may not be that severe, or extreme, but life happens, man. Stuff happens that
Yeah.
you don't even expect, you know.
Yeah.
So at least just letting somebody know, like, yeah, I love you, or just a hug, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, man, I'm sorry, bro. I'm thinking about this kid, and I'm thinking like his future relationships, bro, are tainted. Is not just like he like. It sounds like it's gonna be like a real struggle to learn to love and trust and do anything again, right? Because your father killed your mother, and even if you come to terms at some point with your dad, that's gonna always be the truth. That sucks.
Yeah, it's gonna be no takebacks.
Take backs.
Ain't no takebacks. Ain't no do-overs. Yeah, ain't no takebacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't no takebacks. It was ain't no do-overs. So they definitely need to, be focused on those, be aware of those things. That's all. Cause selfishness can have us regret some things sometimes, some actions, because all selfish actions don't always get to be corrected.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't always get to be corrected.
And like that don't even seem like it's like selfish don't even seem like the right word for that because Buddy locked up right now didn't benefit. I mean, unless the benefit was just the murder, but
I mean, I'm almost sure that it was in the heat of an argument. I know that it was an emotional high. I know
mm,
it for a fact. You know what I'm saying? I've uh I've been in a situation where you can be
mm,
emotionally charged like that.
yeah.
Okay. I don't know if it was to the extent of what my situation was. Absolutely. Matter of fact, I know it definitely wasn't, because nobody's died and nobody's dead.
Exactly.
Uh,
I see you right now.
you know what I'm saying? And when people encounter them types of situations, I'm sure he now regrets it. Like I know for a fact he now regrets it.
Has to, bro.
I know he now regrets it. It's just that, you know, people are human. Things happen, emotions get, you know, and not being honest with each other. Like I really believe that a lot of these situations, I know from my experience, it just came from a lack of honesty. You know, like just saying what it is up front, not being selfish.
Not being selfish.
You know, because the selfishness is what you were saying earlier about people wanting to still keep everything going. They still want to keep all the stuff. They want to have their fun too,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
they want to keep you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's understandable because who don't like good stuff? You know
Correct.
what I mean? The thing is just like if there's something wrong with the good stuff, then why don't you try to fix that before you go and try to get a new toy?
Correct.
So, you know, there is the selfishness where it's like, nah, I want this toy and I want that toy too. And once that happens, now you get people in, you know, where there's a challenge and everything's out of balance.
To
So
say the
now,
least.
you know, so now you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know what it will take for those things to get back balanced, what it'll take for, you know, for everybody to be back on the same, or if people can get back on the same page or frequency or whatever, you know, same goal oriented path, what have you. So it comes from just a lack of honesty and it comes from that being selfish. You know, that's where that selfishness comes, plays the part, comes to head, and then it's just like dag. All you had to do was tell a person.
All you
And,
had to do
mo-
was just
and,
tell them.
and most of the time people don't want to hear it anyway. Like, let's be fair. Like nobody would want to hear, hey, I want to cheat on you.
Correct.
Hey, hey, I want to sneak around. Um, hey, I want to steal from you. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like you know, hey, I want to, you know, like nobody, you know what I'm saying? That's not a common practice of people just being that honest, saying, hey,
When you say that out loud, all those things sound horrible, and nobody should be saying those things. Period. Like, because if you had to say those things in order to do things, I don't think you would do it because you would hear it and like, yo, so I'm about to steal. I'm,
I think,
I'm about to break your heart.
I think it's people. I think it's people like they become cold to it, numb to it, where it's just like,
Yeah,
you know, and then don't let it be a song about being a heartbreaker. You know
man,
what I'm
and
saying?
don't let it be catchy.
Yeah. So then, like, now that's the vibe, you know, like, so now you're supposed to be a heartbreaker and
Yeah,
be emotionless. And,
yeah,
you know,
you're a savage and all this other stuff, and
there you go.
yeah,
You know,
and
so
then it's just downhill, right? Because once the artists catch on to the trend or sets the trend, however it goes, if they set the tone, bro, it's a wrap.
that's it. Because then it's going to be a whole bunch more to follow
Yeah,
because this is the new wave. Everybody wants to be this way.
yeah.
You know, this is the new,
This is how you get hot. You
yeah,
gotta do this, and this.
this is the new it.
Yeah,
So, you
a
know,
100,000 followers or subscribers.
so be that. And, you know, for who it works for, it works for. But we do know that is it's always a selfish intent. And there is some form of that selfishness that uh, pours out negatively in some way, in some way, shape, or form. You know, everyone isn't the beneficiary um of something being positive from the acts from this particular act of selfishness with the music, as far as
Hmm.
the messages coming from the music.
Like I don't even know where. Like, so I know where, but would there's no incentive for the record owners, the record label owners, to do anything responsible or morally conscious or try to tone down something, right? Like they had to be taken to court to slap a parental advisory sticker on stuff, right? So there's no incentive for them to do quote unquote the right thing or
Yeah, because I don't, I just when it come to like doing the right thing, quote unquote, it would be cool if it was just a balance.
yeah.
Like we just had a more variety of artists on the mainstream, being pushed.
And
That was the difference.
maybe that's the truth right there. Maybe that's the entire truth. We had more variety, quote unquote, back in the day than we do it now, where everything sounds the same, right?
That's,
Even
that's
if,
being pushed.
yeah, because even if you just look at driving, across country or whatever, going from state to state, the music would change based on that area, right? And now everything you're damn near hit the same song.
Hmm.
Um, like there's no difference in regional sound anymore.
No,
That's being pushed out loud.
a little bit, very,
Yeah,
very little bit, very, very
yeah.
little bit, very, very little bit. Like it's some. I think Detroit they got a unique sound with their stuff.
Hmm.
Um,
I mean, yeah,
yeah,
you got core enthusiasts everywhere for every
LA,
genre, right? But as far as what's
but that's the only really two that you might hear like a difference in uh in the beat structures. A lot of the other stuff is just because it's a few core
Mhm.
producers that's making all the hits, like
Correct, and
and
they got recipes for how they do they specific magic and whatever is hitting right now currently. The labels are saying I need more of that.
right.
Right, give me another one of those.
Hmm.
Right, and it's not necessarily got nothing to do with the. That's what I'm saying. Like, so the artist is kind of like all the way out of it because they're not. Uh, it's not about them being creative anymore. It's more so about them churning out a product, uh,
Hmm.
which don't really got nothing to do with art. I don't think. I mean, other than the business aspect of you said you was gonna complete this work, you know, you know. So I don't know.
No, I get it. Pardon me. I get it. It's like that. But I mean, that's part of the business. You put something together, um, and and then you market it and put it out and see what it does and stuff like that. And the stuff that sells and goes, then you try to follow up and keep the momentum. So like it's been that way. That's not really gonna change. But
Yeah.
but I think I'm gonna agree. I see this comment right here too. Bubbling Brown been commenting all night. Some don't like to do the work. And I think that's a good comment because a lot of people don't want to do the work. And I think the work starts with looking at self. When you asked the question earlier, who's responsible for being selfish? Like, can I call myself selfish? I think, pardon me. I think we should call ourselves selfish first.
And own it, right?
Well, we shouldn't. We should try our best to not get to a place where a person, people that we dealing with, that we love, that we care about, that we put the effort into prior to conducting ourselves in a way that would may be considered to be selfish. And I think that if we put that effort into it first, that like that's your first step. So my first step would be, okay, well, I have something I need to communicate to my spouse. Okay. So I can just go and just, you know what I'm saying, come off with it and not care about how they may receive it, feel about it, how I'm presenting it, none of that stuff. So that may be selfish because I'm really focused on just not really trying to even communicate it or solve something. I'm really just trying to just get my stuff off. Just like I need to tell you what's on my mind.
And I think that perfect. I think that goes back to the comment about the working too much and being relative, right? Because that's what we were saying then, right? Like it has to be conversations. Both people have to talk. And if one person is not saying anything, or if one person is not allowed to say something, and it's just this is what's happening, that's awful. That is 100% selfish, and yeah.
Yeah. So I think that the person who's initiating, the initiator should always check theyself for selfishness. The initiator, always, because it's real. Well, it's not easy for everybody, but you should be able to tell when somebody doing something to you or for you that appears to be selfish or selfless. I mean.
So not that it might not matter, but if you are a person in need, do you care if the person was being selfish or selfless? As long as you getting what you need, is that selfish? To not care? Like I don't care um, that this is drug money or blood money, so to speak, or whatever,
Or money that they just worked for.
or money that they just worked for.
You know what I'm saying? They're hard-earned wage labor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That they got up at
Yeah.
4, 5 in the morning,
Yeah.
3:30 in the morning. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it don't have to
Yeah.
be whether it's no drug money or it's
Yeah. Yeah. Just
blood
regular
money.
work money.
You know what I'm saying? They could be working at McDonald's and trying to save up because they gotta go. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then you come to you allow their selfish emergency
Yeah. Selfish emergency,
to be your selfless urgency.
which is selfish of them and of you, right? Because it's not self. That's what I be saying. Like that. That is not selfless. Like you are being selfish against yourself, right? Like that shit is harmful.
You say being selfish against yourself, right?
that's like shooting a basket in your opponent's hoop, right? Like it goes in, it scores, just not for you. Right? Like, yeah, man, that's yeah. It's all about it's all about honest communication, bro. Like that's so communication is key, is what we said, but it's important that it's honest, right? And the initiator, what you say, it has to be honest first,
Right. Has to be honest first.
right? And if we start out with honesty, then we should end up with honesty, right?
I mean, that's a good start.
Just,
That's a good start.
yeah, yeah.
You know, that's a path to that's a good plan, path of direction. So we say, okay, yeah, if we can
No,
at
true.
least, you know,
Yeah. Just be honest with our feelings, right? And you know, maybe stop calling it cheating and be honest and get into a polygamous relationship, right? And manage your time, right? Manage your resources responsibly.
polygamous relation.
Right? Like that's what I'm saying, right? Cause it's only cheating because somebody is missing out. Somebody is losing out on the thing, right? Like um somebody's breaking a covenant, so to speak, right? So and
You know, it's cheating because they lying.
yeah,
That's and
yeah,
it's selfish because they lied.
that's what I'm saying, right? Like be polygamous, right? Don't cheat no more, right? Just be honest and say that you want multiple women or multiple men or however your life is, and live your life the way that you want to live your life, right? Like
Yeah.
don't,
We'll get the other person the option because see, like we speaking from already together to not together now. If you're not
yeah,
together with somebody going into a relationship, yes, like the guy saying, be honest and tell the person up front. How many people gonna do that though? You're gonna meet a girl you trying to get with, you know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna be like, uh,
yeah,
you know, look, I really like you, I want to get with you, but you know what I'm saying? I'm I'm not gonna never be with just you, you know, like I'm gonna be with and that's honest.
that's honest. And to be honest, bro, if you want her specifically, and her requirements is that you be monogamous and you really want her, you have to make an honest choice, right? Like
Yeah.
do you want mad women or do you want her for real?
Or do you just want your polygamy thing going on?
Exactly.
You know,
You gotta be honest, bro. Like everybody gotta be honest.
because you might only be, you know, like you say, mad is mad crazy, but like you might need four.
You might need four, right?
That might be your number,
That
four.
might be your number, right?
You
And
might be like you said, she like, nah, I'm the only one. So then that's not either she's not for you, you know, or you or that particular person who
yeah,
desires polygamy needs to, you know, really check and see if that's what they really want to do.
yeah, because because you're wrong if because that's all you right. It's cheating because you're lying.
It's not.
Right,
Yeah.
because you would have to lie in order to make this thing work. Because she already told you up front, like, nah, I'm good on that, and you like word. Let me see, I got you, and then sneak off or whatever, and now you in a situation right now. Yeah,
Right. So you have to lie.
I
You
gotta
know,
lie.
that's why I said like it's very selfish when people uh have other relationships like that because especially if you start a relationship,
Hmm.
you know, and there's always some type of relationship going on in them cases where you have people who like this was always the crazy one. Um guys would cheat, or girls would cheat too, but people would cheat, and
Mm,
they go form a whole relationship with somebody else.
correct.
And that's just like wow. Like I get you have to, I get we live in an age where people just hook up. You know what I'm saying? So you don't really have to be like quote unquote in a relationship to have sex with somebody, but you are exchanging relations. That is a relationship,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, I was able
100%.
to, yeah, I was able to get together. You like them for something. Okay.
100%.
Um, but when when we've seen like people develop a relationship, like it's a difference when I guess if you if somebody was to like pay for you know
Service.
a service or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, like that's different. Like you really not trying to you're trying to cheat. You are cheating,
Yeah, but is less emotion and more.
focused on the cheating.
Yeah, like it's less. Yeah, it's all about the act itself and not, you ain't trying to do no emotional work.
Yeah, like you're not trying to lie to a person and tell a person I love you and I'm gonna be with you, and
Nah.
or I'm single and I don't have nobody else and this really
Yeah.
my life, and but you got a whole double life going on.
Nah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like all of that right there is just like just be honest, you know. And that's the stuff that I see that mostly has relationships causes turmoil,
Yeah.
that causes so much confusion when you see relationships going apart because of someone has been selfish and chosen to, you know, start a whole nother relationship with somebody else unbeknownst to the other person.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we're gonna take if we're gonna take those if we're gonna take that level of selfishness, and that's what it's always gonna be in the case of these relationships, people cheating, I say why even go through all that, put yourself through all that and just be honest and just tell a person like, you know what, this how I'm feeling, you know what I'm saying? Let's just do this or try it. You never know. Some people be at certain places in their life where they may be with it. They may be with whatever you all discuss, you know, because they looking at everything, the whole picture. They look at like, well, I might have ABC, and D, but I can't get DEFG from over here. So if you feel like you need to get DEFG from over there, it's cool. I'll be your ABCD. I'll be your ABC, you know.
Yeah.
But if you don't have those conversations with people, with the person that you actually involved with, then
Yeah.
yeah, then you just lying. You're 100%.
And really with yourself first, right? Because you got to be honest that with what you need as an individual, because you like you said, you might need four. Your number might be four,
Hmm.
or no ego, nothing, right? Just on your personal, what you need to get through your day to day. This is what you need in your life, right? Um, Not only do you need to know that, you need to say that out loud and stand 10 toes down firm on that, right? And don't lie just because she's pretty, right? Or because he's good looking or whatever, right? You just got to be honest, right? Just, but mostly with yourself, so that you don't even want to lie to the person that you're taking time up with, right? Because who want to just sit around just thinking of lies all day to tell somebody,
Facts.
right? Like, that sounds stressful.
Facts.
Right, just sitting around like, what did I tell Pearl yesterday? What can I tell him today? Instead of just what happened today.
Instead of just how was your day,
Instead of just,
right?
I seen aliens today. I was at the mall, and yeah, right,
Right. Instead of plans on what we're gonna do in the future.
yeah,
Those goals, like I think Bubba and Brown was talking about those relationship financial goals and relationship goals and stuff like that. Yeah,
yeah.
it's definitely because that ain't selfish, and that is a balance. Just making sure that uh, people got to be honest, up,
Honest communication.
honest communication
That's the answer to the. That's how you get balance.
from being
Honest,
from being selfish, right?
yeah, honest communication.
And that consideration where always going back to that consideration
Hmm.
where
You could,
before
yeah,
before at the initially when you
yeah. You can have anything you want as long as you're honest about it up front, right? And surround yourself with the right players. That's gonna facilitate that, right? Because if you want shorty and she like, nah, it can only be one. Like
right.
that's gonna be terrible if she find out about the other three. Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be devastating.
And
Because you're gonna lose something, and if you
you
do,
might lose all four.
might lose all four, you know. But if they knew, then it's willing participants,
Correct.
so and then that gave everyone a choice to, you know, to figure out their level of selfishness, how if they wanted to be selfish,
Correct.
you know.
Because everybody got to choose, right?
hmm Find out what's bad or good for them. You know, they wanted to enjoy some benefit.
I don't know, man. Even when I'm thinking about it, I saw the word, the definition. He talked about exclusively benefiting a person, but I think about Buddy that's locked up. Even though his act was selfish, there was no benefit to him, right? Like his
So,
woman is gone. He's
with
taken from his kid.
who did you say real
I'm
quick?
talking about Buddy that murdered the kid's wife or the kid's moms,
hmm
right? Like there's no benefit. His act was selfish, but there was no benefit in his act, because he's separated from his kid, he's separated from the woman, and he's separated from society, right? So to me, like selfishness seems like that shit is detrimental. Like if
It seems like it can be when when really misused bad. When selfishness is used for a a really bad purpose, things can get horribly, horrifically bad. Where you can't, where it's no fixing.
no fixing, and we go from selfish to a new word. I don't know what that word is, but it's beyond selfish to where like who cares about benefit at this point? You just want to just blow it up.
Probably useless, because
Yeah, right.
that's what dude is now. I mean, some people will argue. We had different perspectives. Come from, there's different levels of compassion. Some people may
Hmm.
say You know, that man was traumatized, and whatever situation he went through, he wasn't in his right state of mind. That still doesn't mean that he can't be there for his son in some form of capacity, because he does know what not to do. His son does have an example of what not to do in life. Um, However, you know, look at it though. You know,
Mm.
look at it though. Like how does the son now even trust his father again?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, what kind of conversation you gonna have with this? How you gonna be in this person's life, right? Like,
And that's what we seeing, like from what you just said. Like, nah, he you know, his
how do you
selfishness just ruined everything
how do you get a hug from your son and not worry that he ain't gonna stab you in your back?
because he gonna be in prison.
Well,
So
yeah, I got you.
fortunate enough for him, his son gets patted down if he comes. Can't bring anything in with him.
And he gotta go through metal detector.
That part. So yeah. So he doesn't get stabbed by son. You know, some might choke him to death. You never know. He get his weight up with his hate. You never know.
Yeah,
But
that's useless, bro. Like, cause that's no benefit at all.
what was selfish was for the father not to think about these things
Yeah,
prior to, you know, in his interaction with his son's mother.
yeah,
You know, not thinking about how
yeah.
how may this affect my son. You know, and am I mad at what I'm mad at her about now is is this something that I'm willing to risk my whole life for, of not being around my son, not being able to experience things with my son? I've been there for all these different things. Like, that's wild to me that he didn't have a dream of his to see his son at a certain age doing something,
'Cause you said 15, so he was around for he was around for a while. Yeah,
you know. And I'm
mm,
like, even if it was, I want to watch my son graduate from high school,
yeah,
you know, walk across the stage. I want to put the tie on him when he go to prom or something. You know,
yeah,
I want to, uh, you know, see his first, you know, I don't know, whatever he got going on. If he playing sports or he got a science project or something, you know, I mean, I'm sure he been there for some of them, but I'm like, damn, like he 15, like that's 10th grade, you know,
yeah.
9th, 10th grade. Like,
That's
let's
those are pivotal years right there. Like you kind of need,
talk about it, dad.
you know what I'm saying? Like you kind of like cause 15, like that whole I know in my house that whole conversation from 14 actually is like, yo, you're gonna be 18 soon. The world's gonna be looking at you like real different from right now. So it's like every move you make, you got to be considerate of yourself. You got to be mindful, right? Like, uh, don't offend unless you really are trying to, get busy. But if you're not, then say sorry, right? Because life is not gonna be nice, and the expectation is that you're supposed to get tried often and tried again.
Right. And never denied.
You know what I'm saying?
And willing to be tried
All
again.
right. All right, that's the expectation that society has for you, right? Without actually giving you the practice of said things, right? So I don't know, man.
Yeah, selfishness is, you know, they said in the 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 internet definition said, um it is absolutely fine to benefit from being a good, loving person. You know,
Damn, like they don't care about nobody else.
and they say that has nothing to do with being a selfish person. So, you know, they just putting selfish all on. If you anything resembling the closeness to selfishness is negative.
Yeah.
That's the way, you know, it's being defined in on the web in certain spaces. But you know, we spoke about it
Putting
this
our own
evening.
energy on it. Yeah.
You know, we spoke about it this evening, letting, you know, just putting a little different perspective on it, exchanging insights. That's what we do. How, you know, it's okay to be selfish with certain things because you have to be, you know, especially when it comes to being responsible.
Yeah.
It is a level of selfish responsibility that we have to exemplify. If you don't, then, you know, your responsibilities will suffer from it.
Yeah.
And,
You gonna starve to death?
you know, and those are unique to everybody, you know. Um, and then some of them are general, like you said, like we need food. So um,
Yep.
there's a level of selfishness that can come from even like what you choose to eat. You know, I have certain things that I don't eat because of health things and because of personal preference and because we in America and we have choices.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it may be three different dynamics, not just one. Um, but selfishly, I choose to eat certain things for my health to preserve my health.
It is yours.
Right,
It does not benefit anybody else.
right, and that's a positive selfish thing that I think everybody should do. You know,
Yeah.
selfishly, you know, keep up with your hygiene and your dental visits and your mental health and your doctor's visits.
Cholesterol, all that.
You know, yeah, like all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Um, selfishly do those things because you only get one body. So, you know, just keeping it real. Um, but you gotta have a balance. You know, that is the balance. Um, but there are some things that we can selfishly do as well that are definitely just self-serving. Um, and do not benefit anyone else. And I think we do have some of them things like taking some time to meditate,
Mm-hmm.
taking some time to, you know, maybe be in a quiet place sometimes, you know, but I feel like all of them things helping with like your mental health, your physical, your spiritual, um, something going on for you to be focused, something that's necessary for us to get focused on whatever our goals are,
Correct.
you know, in our prospective relationships, um, whatever those may be, you know, professional, personal, um, you know, educational, financial, whatever they are. Um, but yeah, that's what we do here. That's what we do on Cigar Sundays. We find a word, see how it applies to us, how we've been using it, self-reflect, share some things, some stories, our insights, perspectives. That's it.
That's it. It's selfish. That's what I say, man. Like all the other words we have were pretty but selfish, because it's about yourself is a little tougher. Because you can always justify some BS, right?
Yeah, of course.
All right, but yeah, man. It was a good show, good topic. I like it, man. Looking forward to next week, right? And this year, let's try to make it all 52.
All 52, let's do it. I'm with it.
Let's try to make it all 52.
I'm with it. Cause some energy was trying to not get me to this one right here. But
Now I feel you. It was over here too.
that energy ain't it ain't strong enough.
Nah, man.
We here.
Nah, consistency, bro. Like that's not new year, new me. Nope. The me from last year was consistent. So I'm gonna bring that me forward this year and remain consistent. And I'm gonna practice consistent, and my desires are gonna be consistent. All my intentions are gonna be consistent, right? And I'm gonna live a purposeful, consistent life. Right?
Let's do it. I'm gonna join the Me Too movement of that. I'm gonna join the Me Too movement of that right there. That's gonna be the Me Too movement I want to be a part of right there. That consistency.
Consistency, bro.
That consistency movement. Absolutely. Well, once again, family, thank you for pulling up again this Sunday evening. We want to thank everybody for joining us. We want y'all to have a peaceful, productive, and positive start to your week.
Absolutely.
Everybody, send some prayers out to I Am Jazz Garcelle, to at I Am Jazz Garcelle. Show some love on her Facebook, Instagram page. You know what I'm saying? We got you in our prayers, Jazz. And she's doing good too, though, y'all. So it ain't like, you know what I'm saying? Don't be thinking anything negative. Nah, she good. It's just like, shoot, last week I was feeling sick.
That's going around, bro.
Even this week, you know what I'm saying? I had another little personal situation, but that I'm recovering from. But even still feeling like even a little bit of the sickness or whatever, still I'm, we working through it.
Mm-hmm.
But make sure everybody like and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. We're going to be back next Sunday, same time, same location. Cigar Sundays live right here on the DBCHEFTV network. Make sure y'all check out the links in the description if y'all want to support the channel. Check out the panelists, all the panelists, the merchandise and products that the panelists have. And we thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to see y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace, family.
Such a beautiful picture. So glad I'm rocking, doing this with ya. You a queen with a dime piece mixture of a pure, pure heart and a body like what? Let me get your number, start a conversation, get to know each other. Next thing we dating. You the wifey type, but I'm the perfect guy. A match made in heaven, so baby, come inside. You at the door brought me a love. I couldn't wait for you to show up. No other love compares to us. You can always ring my doorbell. You at the door brought me a love. I couldn't wait for you to show up. No other love compares to us. I love it when you ring my doorbell. When you ring my doorbell. I love it when you ring my doorbell. No other love compares to us. I love it when you ring my doorbell. Excitement, lingerie for the night like try it. Girl, you sexy and you hot. Now show me what you got. I like a private show. Now make your body go rounding up and down and around like a spiral. Together so attached, no one could break it. Forevermore at the door for your love I'm waiting. You at the door brought me a love. I couldn't wait for you to show up. No other love compares to us. You can always ring doorbell. No other love compares to us. I love it when you ring my doorbell. Baby, I love the sound. When you ring my doorbell. Baby, I love the sound.